I accidentally took a little bit of a break from YouTube. I think it's been about 3 months since my last video. I'm not entirely sure why. I think there was a bit of a lack of confidence, definitely a lot of overthinking, and trying to build up a new business meant YouTube kind of took a back seat. But the truth is, I have really missed it. So I am back and I'm ready to share with you all the things I have been sewing in the last 3 months, because whilst YouTube took a bit of a dip, my sewing definitely did not. So here is everything that I have sewn in the last 3 months. So first up, back towards the end of September, I made these two gorgeous Studio 77 Lunar backpacks. They really stretched my sewing skills and they really stretched my sewing machine as well. There were times, especially this one, because this Harris tweed is really thick, it has foam inside as well, so there are so many layers, and there were times when I really thought my sewing machine was going to give up, but luckily it powered through, and I'm so glad it did, because how gorgeous. So this is Harris tweed, like I said. I have a little label that proves it is actually Harris tweed, and some leftover of this leopard print denim from Fabric Godmother. I'm so happy with this. We've got these gorgeous zips as well. Only problem with putting these two zips on is that they do jangle together quite a lot. But then on the inside, we have got pockets galore. There's pen pockets, there's a water bottle pocket. It's really hard to show you. So many pockets. So I absolutely love it. I've been wanting to make a backpack for a really long time. So I've made this one, and then I quickly made another. This one has been claimed by my daughter and has become her school backpack, which is lovely. However, it's not waterproof. This canvas came from Jenny Stitches. Both the canvases used here came from Jenny Stitches. I need to get some waterproof spray or something like that, because doing the school run, obviously, things are going to get wet. There's a lot of rain in the UK. But again, we've got all the pockets inside, and I could not be happier with these two backpacks. Next up, I made the Closet Core knit dress, which I absolutely love. This version is a blue viscose. It's got a tiny little bit of glitter in there as well. I actually cut this one out a year ago. It's been in my whip box for a year. It was finally time to sew it up, and I'm so glad I did. It's beautiful. The only change I would make next time is to lengthen the sleeves a little bit. They kind of want to ride up my arms. I had planned to wear this one on Christmas Day. However, getting dressed and everything, sat down to a lovely breakfast, croissants and jam, you know, trying to be a little bit fancy. Of course, I got jam on the dress, which I tried to spot clean, and that resulted in a water-tied mark. So I swapped it for the second knit dress I made, which I will show you in a minute. But this is so beautiful. We've got so much gathering. We've got gathering on the sleeves, we've got gathering on the yoke, on the back of the yoke, gathering. Actually, this is elasticated at the waist, but then we've got a tiered gathered skirt as well. Did mean that ironing it after washing it was a bit of a mission, so bear that in mind. But it's so beautiful. I love the rouleau loops down here as well, and it's finished with binding just on the front, and then the yoke is all finished with the burrito method. I then proceeded to make a second version in this beautiful cotton bow print from Hey Sew Sister, which was very kindly gifted to me. The instructions say for the final tier, to cut 4 panels, sew them all together, gather them up. That creates a very fabric hungry pattern. So actually what I did was I cut 2 panels the entire width of the fabric, so it's not quite as full as the pattern says it should be, but it still works beautifully. It gives a kind of softer look to it, I think. And I actually shortened this one to be just below knee length. I hadn't at that point made the sleeves longer, so it's fine when my arms are down, but obviously when I then do something, they wanna ride up. Now for something a little more comfy cozy, and that is I have finally sewn up the Merchant & Mills Winnie pyjamas. I say finally That is because I cut these out 3 years ago. They have been in my whip box for that long. I am making it a mission, if you couldn't tell, to work through my whip box. I think I've only got 3 or 4 projects left in there now, so I'm doing well. But yes, I cut these out 3 years ago. Luckily, my measurements haven't changed that much in those 3 years. I do love these. The trousers I particularly love. They are nice and long. They don't bunch up around my tummy. I quite often find with wide leg, pull on, woven pajama style trousers or pajamas, the fabric, I end up with too much fabric around my tummy, but these actually fit like a total dream. The top, however, the top fits fine. I probably would lengthen it a little bit more, and I feel like I need a little bit more room around my bust. Although it is very roomy, I just feel like the buttons want to pull open a little bit. However, there were some issues when it came to sewing, mainly the facing. So it is fully faced around the neckline, down the center front and around the hem, which is slightly curved. And that's when it didn't quite go right. I don't know if it was an issue that I had cutting it out, but that was 3 years ago, so I can't actually remember. I'm not really sure what happened. Maybe I cut a smaller facing than I was meant to, because things didn't quite match, especially where the facing ends at the shoulders before we move into that neck binding. And then where the front and the back hem facings meet, it doesn't match there as well. It's a little bit strange. I feel like it was supposed to be caught into the side seams or the shoulder seams. Didn't quite work. However, it's a pair of pajamas that I'm going to wear at home. So, and that's all on the inside. So it doesn't really matter that much. It's just a bit frustrating. And then, of course, I had a little mishap, totally my fault, when I was trimming down the seam allowance. Some of the fabric right at the back at the neckline got caught in my scissors, and I chopped a little triangle of fabric out from the bodice. It happens to us all, what can I say? Luckily, it's under the collar, so it's not visible. So what I did was I cut a tiny scrap of fabric and sandwiched that between the main fabric and a piece of interfacing, and then I just did a zigzag stitch around that triangle. It's not pretty, and if that was, here, it would be very noticeable, and I probably would have cried a lot. But because it's under the collar, it's at the back, they're a pair of pajamas, it's fine, no one is going to see it. I have shared the progress of sewing my Winnie pajamas as a project diary in the free Thready Set Go forum. Just need to take some photos to show off the finished piece. I kind of left it hanging a little bit, so I need to get back on that and make sure to finish up that project diary all nice and tidy. Next up, there were a few Christmas gifts that I made this year. I decided, because we do these things to ourselves, to make everyone in my family a hand sewn gift. So first up for Mia, I made her a really cute pair of Christmas pajamas. I always try to either get or make her pajamas every Christmas. Whether or not they're Christmassy, doesn't matter. This time they were Christmassy. The fabric, the beautiful jersey fabric, came from the Fabric Obsession, and I used the Hey June Handmade City Park t-shirt and Simplicity 1043 for the trousers, which actually is for woven fabrics, but it worked perfectly well for jersey as well. I also made Andy a t-shirt. Now, poor Andy doesn't often get a look in when it comes to sewing garments for him. I very much sew for myself. Sometimes I sew for Mia. I mean, Andy just wears jeans and t-shirts. He doesn't really like jumpers. He doesn't really like patterned fabric. So he's very much a jeans and t-shirts guy. So I finally made him a t-shirt. I used the Helen's Closet Jackson pullover and t-shirt pattern, just in a plain white, and it's lovely. Really, really nice. It's sewed up in like an hour. It was such a quick sew, and he's really happy with it. I haven't got any photos of that one. It's just a plain white cotton t-shirt, but he's happy, and that's what's important. So the rest of my family all got a little handmade gift as well. As a family, we very much decided not to go crazy. We didn't want to spend too much money. Everyone is trying to cut back. So I decided to make everyone a tote bag. And I do have a video tutorial from a couple of years ago. So I used that tutorial to make everybody a lined tote bag. So that was 11 tote bags for my family, plus one for me as teacher. And I used loads and loads of fabric scraps. So you know when you get a pattern and it says you need 3 meters, but you end up with half a meter left over, you don't really know what to do with it. Basically, those are all the fabrics that I used. So there was cotton canvas, there was cotton poplin, there was a bit of denim for pockets, and then any visco scraps I used for the lining. And I'm so happy with how they turned out. I think they look really, really lovely. I also added a little label to everyone that was sort of unique to the person that was being gifted it. I'm so happy with how they turned out, and I think they were well received. It's always hard to tell, isn't it? But I think they were well received. The final 2 garments that I have most recently sewn are the True Bias Marlo cardigans. This is a pattern that has kind of taken the sewing community by storm. Lots of people rave about it. And I didn't quite get it at first. I was like, it's a cardigan. Now I have made them. Oh my goodness, I love them. This one particularly, I am wearing all the time. This one behind me, I made the cropped version. It's plain white cable knit that I had in my stash. It's lovely. It's sewed up so quickly. It's a really quick, simple, easy make. Great for kickstarting your sewing in January. The cropped version I wasn't too sure about at first because it does hit just above my tummy area, which is an area I tend to try and conceal a little bit more. The longer version I actually lengthened by 4 inches because I wanted to be able to wear it with leggings. It is the snuggliest thing. I actually made this one in a cable knit. This is a sparkly cable knit that was very kindly gifted to me from Lamazi Fabrics. And oh my goodness, it came as a kit actually. So the buttons were included, the interfacing was included, and some Mariflex thread was included as well. And yet I have been wearing this one so much. The only issue I had, because the cable knit is so thick, was around the hemband, where the hemband meets the neckband. It's so thick, it was quite hard, quite fiddly to sew. There were a lot of layers involved in that. So it has created this kind of little bump, which I can't quite fix. But if anyone's looking that closely at the bottom of my hemband, they're too close. If the Marlo cardigan is on your list of garments to sew this winter, or any other cardigan, then check out my video from last year where I talk about my ultimate guide for sewing with sweatshirt fabrics. Different types of sweatshirt fabrics and how to sew them. Pretty much every fabric in that guide would be perfect for the Marlo cardigan. Thank you so much everyone for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.